Oh my word. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Shake, how you doing?
What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. This build video is going to be the anti-meta rifle build. I want to get into this as quick as possible. There's a lot of explaining that I need to do for this build. This build has been in the works for me for about a week. I've changed this build 4 to 5 times in the past 7 days. Shout out to all my friends and some of the members for helping me with this build, testing it. It's been quite a ride. Currently in the dark zone, there's people with over 500,000 armor who are two-tapping you with a shotgun. I'm sure everyone is aware of that. So you're probably looking for a build to counter that. This build more than counters it. If those guys, the funny part about this build is that people don't, when you're in cover or you're using this build, people don't realize how strong it is. So a lot of times, what I've been seeing in the dark zone lately using this build is that these guys with 500,000 armor are very confident. They've got the booster hive, they're running very fast towards you, and I kill them in 2 bullets. I've been told I'm a hacker the last few days so many times with this build. This build is absolutely a beast. Honestly, guys, you can 2-tap someone with 560,000 armor. 2 shots and they are dead. In the body, 4 shots. If you're in cover, it's possible to one-shot someone with 350,000 armor. This is really, really strong, and it's probably not what you thought. This is a anti-meta rifle build. This is a perfect build to go against any kind of meta that's going on right now. Shotguns. I'm not even gonna get started with clutch build. You'll one-shot someone in the body with this rifle if they're using clutch. Clutch is kind of outdated right now, if you guys didn't know. But we're gonna get straight into the build. I don't want to talk too much, as you saw in the footage. Did a lot of testing. Now you might think, well, you're probably gonna have the best in slots for sniper builds. No, that's not the case. Rifles are a bit different to sniper rifles. I'll show you guys. We're going to get into this. Let's get into this build video. So the first thing you guys need to know is that we're going to use sharpshooter. That should be obvious by now. This is very important. The tactician drone is very strong. This allows us to see all around us. It pretty much is like an infinite pulse in a way, without the buffs. You get to see enemies around you. It's very important, especially because we will be quite squishy. There is a way to run this build with 500k armor, but you shoot marshmallows. It doesn't work as efficiently as the way I've got it now. So make sure this is my rifle is active. Tier 3, 15% rifle damage. Everything else should be active, guys. No excuses. By now, we should have this all active 165 over 165. Let me explain to you guys how to use this build. This is it right here. Okay, this is through a lot of testing. The best in slot is it's gone away in this one because there's a certain way you use this build and it really, really works unbelievably well. So we're going to be using the M1A. So 1150. We do not need skill power. This build is for straight up blasting people. If you can hit headshots, that's what we're going for, especially because I'm on PC. I'm going to explain to you guys each piece and what you should maybe rather run if you're on console and you struggle with aiming. Because this build is, you're meant to be in cover and it's meant to take out enemies before they get close to you. This is not really a face tanking, face trading kind of build. If you try and face trade someone with clutch, a perfect clutch build, you're going to have a hard time. You can kill people, but you have to hit your headshots. If not, it's going to be difficult. So this is more of a get them before they get to you kind of build, and it shreds them instantly. I mean, guys, I'm hitting literally 190,000 to the guy's arm. Some of the shots I've been hitting. I think the highest I got when I was testing this was 290,000 damage to someone's head with a rifle. It's ridiculous. That's in PvP, in a modified PvP environment. So this build just blows my expectations. It's really, really good. All right, so my gear score is 443 for a reason. I'm going to get to that in a second. Let's go through this. So Armor is 255,000. That's okay. We don't need to be tanky with this build. The whole idea is to get rid of the enemy as quick as possible. This is not a sustained damage. This is a rip through them instantly. You can kill people in not even a second, half a second. It's really, really, really potent. So health is 60k. That's pretty medium. That's not too bad actually. Skill power, don't worry about that at all. All right. So the whole focus on this build is going to be the classic M1A. This is an extremely strong rifle. It's 100k base damage, 180 RPM, 15 round magazine. The reason why I don't use the Diamondback is because Boomerang is very important for this build. If you guys really don't realize that rifles run with critical hit damage, which means we want to stack crit for these kind of builds. That's how you fully utilize them. And Boomerang fully utilizes the critical elements of the gun. So critical hits have a 50% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If a bullet is returned to the magazine, the next shot has a plus 50% increased damage. So we are going to get massive amounts of damage the more we crit. So that's why it's so important to crit with this gun. I know there's a perfect boomerang. I don't have it, unfortunately. I know there is. So if you use it, I think it's about 75% chance, which is crazy good. So definitely use that if you do have it. Now that's why we're using this gun. It's, if you compare it to something like the 1886, I think I've got one somewhere. I don't have one on me, but the RPM is a lot lower and it's just the mag size is way smaller, even if you have extra. So this is just helps you hit have more bullets in your mag. So it's definitely worth doing. Even the reload speed that I have on it is pretty good. So you're going to be hitting massive amounts of damage, 100,000 damage a shot, but obviously we're going to have a lot of modifiers to make it a lot better. Okay, so let's get into the secondary. This is very important. I only have a level 1. I still haven't gotten a merciless throughout my thousands and thousands of hours playing this game. So brutality is what we want, guys. This will give us 100% extra damage. This happens a lot more often than you think, especially because we'll be spamming this rifle. So make sure you have this holstered. It's very important for explosive damage because we do have a stacking element in this build. This is also going to be pretty important. Use a gun which has got in rhythm. While equipped enemy kills have a 5% chance to refresh active skill cooldowns. That's very handy when the drone takes so long to come back. It's very nice to have this. So definitely pop this on. Equipped means that if you have it on you, which now it's on you, it's on the character, so it will work. Let's get into the build. Now, we're going to go for straight up damage all round. We don't care about survivability. This is to get rid of the pesky shotgun as quick as possible. So I've gone for Douglas and Harding, which is perfect because we get that 10% crit damage. Remember, guys, it's a crit build. Unfortunately, I don't have max critical hit chance. Like I said, my build videos, I do so many of them, I cannot min-max all of them. If I did, I would only be bringing out a build once a month. So unfortunately, I don't have max crit. I try to get it, but it's a bit difficult right now. So the idea is to get as much critical hit chance as possible and crit damage. I've actually got pretty high crit damage, to be honest, but we'll get into that shortly. So 28k health, 5% crit chance. The more crit chance, the better here. Perfect concussion. This works with the rifle extremely well. Remember, it's only going to be up for 2 seconds, so you have to hit your shots after 2 seconds. Otherwise, you don't get that 20% headshot damage buff. So you need to be spamming your headshots, guys. You have to be spamming, otherwise it doesn't work. For marks on rifles, it works a bit better. It's 5 seconds, so don't worry about that because you're able to spam this gun because of the RPM. That's going to be the mask. Very important to have perfect concussion. That's a lot of extra headshot damage. All right, so this is where we're going to have to do a bit of explaining for you guys. So accuracy and stability are important for rifles. It's the only gun in the game where you should be stacking accuracy and stability, even for the best aimers in the game, even for PC players. It's very important to stack accuracy. It really helps the reticle of the rifle. It allows you to hit your shots from further away. It's very important. I've got 17% headshot damage with 33k armor with perfect vigilance, gain 30% weapon damage. Taking damage disables this buff. So definitely make sure to have this. That 30% weapon damage is insane. Now, if you're on console, like I was saying before, you cannot hit your headshots as well as I can or other players. Go for weapon damage or critical hit chance. One of those two. It depends on how much crit chance you have. If you're struggling and you have less than 30, I would not use this build if you have less than 30% crit chance. If you do, pop crit chance on here, you can get a nice chunk and then it'll help your build a lot if you guys are on console because this build works very well hitting body shots. You'll be amazed. It two taps people in the body. It's really, really good. All right, so that's the chest piece. Before we get into the next piece, let's just go over the mods quickly, guys. So I've got 5,000 armor, 3% total armor. Explosive resistance is what you really need for this build. It helps with those pesky seeker mines. 4% rifle damage. We recently got some rifle mods. I don't know if you guys purchased any. I got quite a few, so 4% rifle damage. That's equates to 5.5% damage from one mod. Very nice. That gets me to that 100k mark. Wyvern wear is very important for this build as well. I've got 11.5% crit chance with surgical, 10% crit chance on the holster. Why? Because we need more crit to proc boomerang. Another mod slot there. I've only got a 3% rifle damage, unfortunately. This Wyvernware set, it's a bit unfortunate I don't have maybe some gloves to give me that 10% crit chance. That would have been ideal, but I don't have the proper pieces. If you guys can get a 3-piece Wyvern, perfect. But we do get 15% drone skill power, which helps with our drone a little bit if you want to get a few mods. Funny enough, I've got 2 active mods in it, which it does actually help. So 7% crit damage, I'll take that any day of the week. That's very nice for this build. Crit chance, crit damage are more important than weapon damage on this build, because we're going to get all the damage from boomerang, especially if you guys have perfect boomerang. You're going to be ripping through people. Then 8% health. That's not too great. If you guys can get a Wyvernware backpack, that would be better. Ideally, I do have some, but it wouldn't showcase the perfect talents. So I need to make sure I show you guys. So we do have crit chance, weapon damage, and armor. Very nice. Spark is very important because that goes in conjunction with brutality. That gives us that extra weapon damage. Once you proc a brutality explosive shot, you get 15% weapon damage for 15 seconds. So it's very important. And because you'll be doing explosive damage and things like that, destructive allows you to stack more damage. So that just it further increases the explosive damage from shooting, which is very nice. So it's very, very good. You could swap this with something else if you don't really care too much. Maybe hardened if you can get some more armor. It's up to you guys if you want to be a bit more tanky. You can take this build to you can take this build to 350k armor if you really min-max it and push it. That would be insane. So it's possible. I'm going to work towards that. I'm sure you guys will as well. Go for armor mods, armor rolls there. All armor, guys. Don't worry too much about health. This is where it gets very interesting. So this is where people get a bit wrong with the build. So crit damage, accuracy, very nice. Douglas and Harding, we get 10% crit damage. Rifle damage, 12%, very nice there with extra crit chance. Obliterate, why do we use this? Why not something like Precise that gives us 15% headshot damage? That is not as good. It doesn't give us more damage. This is not the slot for this gun. Remember, guys, we want to stack crit damage and crit chance. Obliterate is absolutely ridiculous. If you proc this, I'm sure you guys will go back to the footage and have a look again. When you see this fist procking, you just see me absolutely hitting crazy numbers. People die instantly. It's really, really strong. So Obliterate, depleting an enemy's armor grants plus 30% critical hit damage for 15 seconds, which is absolutely ridiculous. If you deplete someone's armor and they heal, whatever, with 150% armor kit from the gunner specialization, you can rush them because they will die. You have this procced, you will destroy people. It's absolutely crazy. So make sure to have this on your gloves. It's very important. Alright, the Kneepads. For some reason it's glitched out. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Wyvernware again. Like I said, it would be nice to have 3 pieces, but we do have a nice chunky 8% crit chance. Very nice. Composure, this is where the damage increases further. Now, previously on my other build, I put or was it entrenched, which gives us 15% armor regain every time we hit a headshot. But that's not what we want. We want extra damage. Like I said, this is to bring down the enemy as quick as possible. That's why having 11 reds is a must on this build. So 11 reds gives us composure, which is active. That's another 10% damage. Very nice crit chance, all that good stuff. Skills, don't worry about your skills. I put the Reviver Hive because I'm normally at range using this build, getting rid of pesky shotgunners and all things like that. But it just revives me. It's up to you. You can use whatever skill you want. So this actually is moddable. I've got 80% skill haste. So remember, that's from the specialization. I think if you have a look, if you guys have lower enough mods, there is a way to get maybe 1 or 2 of them active. It just depends how much skill power you have on your pieces. Everyone's build is going to be different, so hopefully maybe you guys can have a bit more. But 80% skill haste is a must because this takes forever to come back up. So yeah. Stats. This is where you guys are going to see some lovely stats right here. PvP weapon damage 66,000. Crit chance 48%. That's very nice. Obviously higher would be better, but I'm going to work towards that. I would say if you guys are less than 30%, maybe consider using something like Rifleman, not not stacking into crit because you need to get that. It's situational. It depends. Now, the less crit you have, the less chance to proc boomerang. So you really do want to have this as high as you possibly can. Crit damage is 57%. That's really good. Remember that we're going to get it from obliterate as well, so we're going to get a lot more crit damage. Headshot damage is something I stack for PC. If you're on console, go for weapon damage or crit chance, things like that. So definitely go for that because it is hard to hit your shots at all times with this build. It's not easy. So definitely go for that if you guys are on PC and you have good aiming. Headshot damage, that is insane for a rifle. 102% is really, really good. Then we have got, I think, a 37% rifle damage, all weapons, plus another 12.5. Very, very nice. Explosive damage is 40%. We do have max health 60k, pulse resistance that just comes with it. So the other stats aren't too clever, not too great because obviously that's not about the skills. So how do we use this build? Let me just quickly summarize this build. Boomerang is an incredible talent. It really utilizes critical hit damage and crit chance in a rifle build. This build absolutely shreds everyone in sight. It is really, really potent, and I want you guys to try it like this. There are a few ways to run builds like these, precise with weapon damage, things like that, but give this a go. Obliterate is very underused, and I've been destroying people with 500,000 armor easily. It's extremely easy. And the best part of it is you don't even have to hit your headshots. If you hit a headshot, that just really amplifies your damage. As you saw in the footage, you can really shred through people very quickly. So if you guys are having trouble with any kind of strong build that you can't kill, build this and you will have a blast in PvP. So anyways, guys, that will be it for the build video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. I did change my outfit a bit. I want to spice things up a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, make sure to subscribe and become a member if you guys would like to. Click the notification bell and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace out, boys.